Hello, welcome to my channel, Lynn Kelly, author. Today we will be working on these pages from the Hawaiian spread. The groom-to-be proposed in Hawaii, so I have been having a great time working on these pages. Even though they will be almost finished in this tutorial, they still will not be completely done. And before I forget, if you haven't had a chance to watch the video with the flip through of the entire book, I hope you'll look for that and watch the whole thing so you can see what you can make. And you can make it as big as you want, or as thick as you want, or not quite as thick. So you can add as many pages as you want, depends on what you're doing. This is going to be a wedding gift, so it is going to be pretty thick. And the pages that I use children's board book pages for, those are pretty thick and they add some bulk to the whole book. So they will all be wired together at the end, and if you watch the flip through video you'll see how. I at this point am not finished with the whole book, so I can't show you an example, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about this page, which is page 3 of the Hawaiian pages. And in this part here I am gluing on some braided ribbon yarn, and it's rust colored. I bought some in different colors, blue, multicolored, and then I'm out of the black. That was a really popular one. I used the whole spool on some of the prior altered art books I worked on. And I believe you can get this on Amazon. I don't even remember where I bought it. It was so many years ago, probably at Joann's. But I don't know if the other stores sell it or not, but I know that Amazon does have some. So check it out and see what colors you would want to use. It's really easy to work with. I have not tried crocheting with it, and I don't know how to knit, but I bet it would be pretty easy to crochet with too. It's very pliable and really neat. Nice stuff. Okay, so that is the border, and I think that a border adds a really nice finishing touch to a page. It's kind of like framing it. So with all the work that we put into the page, it deserves to have a nice frame to highlight it. Okay, so then I found that outlining with gel pens is such a great way to highlight or accent parts of your art. It's very soothing and relaxing too. You know what they say about the adult coloring books? Well, I do use the gel pens in my adult coloring book, or any book, and so it works great for outlining on something like this, especially the calendar pictures that I use for the background on a lot of these pages. The gel pens are great. I just love how it accents the stuff in the picture. So I am outlining these stickers here, and it looks like a lot of work, but actually it goes really fast. And like I said, it's really enjoyable. It is art therapy. So I highly recommend it, and it does help when you're stressed. Okay, so the Hawaiian pages were a lot of fun, and I think that the bride and the groom are going to be pleased when they see their gift, because every page is pretty much focused on photos of them or something that has to do with their the bridal shower or the save the date card, the engagement party. So everything in this book has a special meaning for this couple. Okay, and special mementos that we'll get to in the other tutorials. So I am right now working on the wedding invitation pages, and it's coming along great. I am just so excited to get these tutorials out there, and I hope that other people will share what they make with me. If you do the altered art and use some of these techniques, if it's new to you, I hope you will share it with me, because I love the altered art, and I think it's so much fun. It's so easy. Okay, it takes time, but anything that's worth, anything, of course, is going to take some time, and it is a great way to take your mind off other things. I just get lost in it for hours. Okay, so here are some gemstones that I got with a 50% off coupon. They do not have a sticky adhesive on the bottom, so I have to use tacky glue on them, which is okay because I use the tacky glue on all the stickers anyways. I don't want to risk them not sticking well in a few months or in a year or in a decade. I hope this stuff stays glued together for decades. Okay, now there's the hole that you need to keep track of in each page. You've got to keep track of the hole that the wires are going to go through. And in part 5 of the tutorial, I share my big mistake where I lost track of the hole, covered it up with a scrapbooking paper, and made a big mistake. So you'll have to watch that. And I am sharing the mistakes I make with you so that you can avoid making the same mistakes that I have made. Okay, and the tacky glue, I use my fingers to smear it on. If you don't like to use your fingers, go ahead and use a paintbrush or whatever works best for you. And I keep a damp cloth handy so I can wipe my hands off and not get it on the stuff it's not supposed to show up on. When I'm working with the photographs, I just take a little extra time to be even more careful so I don't get glue on the photographs. But actually, I did notice I got some glue on one of them, and it's in the bridal shower spread, so I haven't done the tutorial yet. So I'll talk about it when I do that tutorial, but I used the damp cloth to try to wipe it off, and it had dried already. And it came off, so I was pretty happy with that. I ordered the photographs in a matte finish, so I don't know if it would have wiped off with a glossy finish or not, but I was pretty happy that that glue, the dried glue, came off with the damp cloth. I like to order doubles of the photographs if I remember, because then if I make a mistake, I have another one, a backup. With some of the photos, you'll see I like to cut the person out of the photo, get rid of the background, and it's fun to do that. I like how it looks, I like how it turns out, and it's just a whole different look for the scrapbooking, and it really is not that time consuming. It might look like it is, but it goes really fast. You just need to be sure you have a sharp pair of scissors, because otherwise it's going to make a mess. Okay, so with this photo, I didn't want to cover up too much of the scrapbooking paper, so I kept tearing more of it off to make it smaller and smaller, because the sky, it just blended in with the water anyway, so it didn't really make a difference that I tore that part off. And again, I like the torn edge look. It's really cool to do it with photographs. And with some of them, if you tear it one way, you'll get a white edge, and if you tear it the other way, you'll get just a plain edge that's the same color as the photo picture. I like to have the white edge. I think it gives it a little extra touch. It accents it better, so I like that white torn edge. But play around with it and see what you like the best. Kind of depends on what your theme is and what you're working with. You might not want the white. I have discovered outlining with the gel pens, so let's see what happens. Okay, this is a palm tree. Of course, you have to have a palm tree embellishment for a Hawaiian page or spread. And this one was on sale. I believe all the Paper Studio stuff were 40% off that day. So I took advantage of it and got lots of cute embellishments for this altered art book, and then for my daughters. My daughter got married in February, and I still haven't made her altered art book. So she knows that it'll be coming. Maybe in time for Christmas. I don't know. But she knows. I did make a box. I decorated a box for the envelopes, the gift cards. So she was happy with that. I need to do a tutorial on how to make one of those too. I have lots of tutorials I want to make. Okay, so I wasn't sure where to put the aloha embellishment, so I made it kind of go at the same angle that the photo is. And then these are the little stickers that I used, same stickers I used in the other Hawaiian page. I bought these years ago, and the way you have to punch out all these little spaces, look at it. Okay, I have a feeling these were on sale, but I love the look of them so much that I went ahead and took the time to punch them out, and they got stuck to my hands and the page and then the table. I was picking them off the next day that I didn't see while I was working on it, so, but it's okay. So I got it straightened out in the end. So I just play around with it to see where I want to place them, and you will see in a bit. I was not happy with where I put the palm tree, so I pulled it up and moved it. So, just because you put it on the page doesn't mean it has to stay there. Sometimes I'll place everything on the page and not glue it down. I'll take a picture and then start from there, and often I end up changing the placement of the embellishments in the photo from where I had them in the picture, but it's nice to have the picture on my extra camera in case I forget where I wanted to put the things, the embellishments, because when it's late at night and you get tired, you might do what I do and forget where you were going to put a certain thing. And so it's nice to have it to pull up on your camera or your cell phone. I can't use my cell phone for photos because it's full. Okay, so this page is coming along, and I add a lot more to it, so it's a lot of fun watching it back and doing a voiceover to tell you what I was doing. Okay, now there's a little tear mark in the scrapbooking paper, but I took care of that really easy by gluing down the palm branch. It was simple. There it is. Now it's all covered up. Okay, so this zigzag embellishment is from that same group of stickers. There you go. Much easier to use. There's no little pieces to punch out. That one was really easy to put on. Okay, so I went ahead and added some tacky glue to it just to make sure it stays down. And then I had to punch the holes through again so that I didn't lose track of where the holes go, because everything on the page you have to keep track of those holes. They let you know where it's going to be and which way it'll be facing in the final book, so it really makes a difference keeping track of those holes for the wires. And if you forget, and cover them up, and then you put stuff there and then you punch a hole in it later, you might not be happy. So don't make that mistake. Keep track of the holes. I did buy a heavy duty hole punch, and I made some mistakes with it. So I need to get used to it, and I will show you my mistakes, and then I'll show you how I fixed them. I had to do some patch jobs, and actually it turned out fine. You can't really tell that I patched it. Of course, now that I told you, and I'll tell you again when I do that tutorial, you'll be able to tell. But it's good to know that it's okay to make a mistake, because you can fix it. That's why it's called altered art. You can alter it. Okay, so I am going to turn off my computer and cool it off. I need to run the fan on it. It's running hot. But here we go with the gel pens. I am highlighting parts of this photograph. I was so tempted to highlight their feet, outline their feet, but I did not have an extra photo, so I really didn't want to mess up their feet. And a lot of the picture of their feet is in a shadow, and that would have made it really hard to outline the feet. And I didn't want to make their toes look extra big or cut one off, or so I am skipping outlining their feet. But I do need to print out some quotes for the Hawaiian pages. I think on this page I'll print out one that says hang 10, and on the other I think I'll print out a Kawabanga dude, because he is a surfer dude. Okay, so quotes are great to help fill in the page if you don't have enough embellishments. And you can print them out yourself. You can Google poems and find one that goes with the theme of your spread, your pages, and print it out. Type up a poem and print it out. Or even better, make up your own poem if you're good at that. Okay, so I need to cool off the computer, so I'll stop talking right now. Okay, I'm back. My computer has cooled off now. Aloha! Aloha! I hope you liked the last song. I am hesitant to play rock and roll songs because not everybody likes it, but I think I've used almost every song on iMovie through these tutorials, and I'm running out of choices. But actually, I do like the rock and roll. I turned it down so it wasn't too loud. So, okay, with the gel pens, if it doesn't write, you might have to tap it on a sheet of paper to get it to start writing again. Sometimes I run into that problem, but with that gel pen, I think it was pretty much done. So I switched to another color. This is like a glitter orange, and it kind of goes with the zigzag embellishment. So with the K and C letters, I really like those letters because they have the Hawaiian print on them, but they're the same color as the background paper, and they just do not stand out. Even with trying to accent with the gel pens, it just doesn't pop, as they say. I kept trying, and I didn't finish it yet, so I will get back to the K and the C in another tutorial. I'm thinking I probably need to add some green to it, and that would tie in with the palm branches. Okay, but it was still fun outlining with the gel pens. I would still do that even after I add the color, the green. So we'll see what I come up with the final letters, the final K and C. They're kind of fun to put their initials on here and then decorate them and make it special. That's my goal, is to make this whole book something that the couple will be able to relate to, and it will bring back memories of this period in their lives every time they look at it. So I think it will do that. It's kind of like it is like a scrapbook, only it's a different kind of scrapbook. It's got all kinds of little extras in it, in fun ways. Okay, and then the aloha embellishment. Just wanted to touch, dress it up a little bit. The gel pens were great for that. And I smeared it in one spot, and actually I liked the smear. It kind of gave it a look like the distressed ink, which I don't know how to do that yet. So one of these days I will buy some of that and play around with it, and then maybe someday I'll do a tutorial, but not for a long time. I have to learn how to do it first. But it looked good, I thought, with the smear. So a good thing I liked it, because I tried to wipe it off and it had already dried. The gel pens do need to dry, so it's not like a regular pen that you can mess with it right after you write on it. You need to let these dry. The nice thing about the gel pens is that they are non-toxic. So little kids should be able to use them. I mean, not real little, not toddlers, but I think I'll get some from my older grandkids, ages 7 and almost 6. I think those are perfect ages to start using gel pens. Yeah, they're way more fun than crayons or markers. Yep, I have to say, the gel pens are way more fun than markers because they are so relaxing to use. I tell you, I should buy stock in gel pens. I just rave about them all the time. And they are so nice to use. They just glide when you're writing with them. And it's just so relaxing. So yeah, gel pens rock. They make it more fun to do altered art and coloring and outlining and writing a letter or even a check. Yeah, but you gotta let it dry before you mail it. Okay, I'm getting dingy again. Yeah, it's time for bed. I need to finish this tutorial because I have a lot more parts that I still need to do, and I still need to finish the book. So I am under a time crunch. I don't want to rush through the book because I want each page to be done the way I want it to be done. So it's taken me longer than I planned, but I am loving the way it's turning out. And so if I have to spend more time, then I'm going to, because I enjoy doing it. And then when it's finished, I am so glad I took that extra time because I love the results. And it's definitely worth it. Okay, so I had to go ahead and add some more glue to these gemstone stickers, which I got at the Dollar Tree. What a great buy. That was a great buy, and I got them in the pink, I got them in the blue, and then here's the gold or amber. They didn't have them in black, and they did not have them in the clear gemstone. So they had lots of different colors, and they had the pearl type of stickers too, in an aqua color and in a light pink. So I need to dig those out and use those too. Give it some more variety on some of the other pages. So the gemstone stickers are right near the hole that the wire is going to go through. So I had to be careful that I didn't put it where the hole goes, and that's a reason to keep good track of those holes that are punched through the pages, because you don't want to punch through the gemstone. It just cracks. It'll crack. It falls apart. Then you have to redo it. It's much better to keep moving forward, but if you have to do a patch job, then you have to. You know, the nice thing about altered art is that if you make mistakes, you can find creative ways to cover up pretty much any mistake, except for the one I did in part 5. Actually, I could probably cover that up if I wanted to. I could just tear that part out that has the hole in it that shouldn't, but I think I'm going to leave it there because the groom-to-be is very forgiving, and I think he'll just look at my mistake and he will probably chuckle and say, "Hey, that's okay." It still looks good even with the mistake. So, okay, my computer's overheating again. That's what that noise is. And so I'm going to turn it off and maybe find some more music. Oh, these little tiny gemstones do not come with a sticky back. They're very small. Some of the reviews on Amazon said that they think they're better for decorating fingernails that are polished. And I thought that was pretty funny. And it's true, they are the perfect size for embellishing your fingernails. But actually, they're nice for a tiny little embellishment. And they were just right for the trunk of the palm tree and some of the other parts. So I just used the tweezers and just dipped them in the glue, wiped off any extra glue, and then put them in place. So definitely worth taking the time to put those little gemstones on. They're so cute. Okay, so time to cool off the computer. Okay, with this page, I went ahead and added the same border as the opposite page, so they match. It's the ribbon yarn. So sometimes I put the glue on the page and then press the ribbon yarn, the braided ribbon yarn down, and other times I'll just add it directly to the ribbon yarn. So I go back and forth, and whatever feels right at the time. They both do the trick. Okay, so I'm about to wrap it up for this tutorial. It's pretty lengthy, and this page is not finished. When I get all the pages pretty much done, I'm going to go back through all of them and add anything else that I think it might need and touch up any spots that look bad or that I don't like. So I hope you will join me for part 7, where I will be working on the save the date card and the engagement pictures, and that's a fun spread too. Thank you for watching. I hope you join us for part 7.